Oh man, you want to see some old school? I mean, this is when Jeff Price put this out. It was like a bomb on the Magic community. Everybody's like, who is this kid, and where did he come up with this stuff?
Hey there, everybody. Eric Tate here alongside my buddy Nick Licapo, and we are here today counting down another top 10 Magic list this week.
Yeah, count to 10.
We're counting to 10 again. Well, we're counting to 10
backwards.
Is it backwards?
10 to 1. 10 to 1.
Yeah.
10 to 1.
We're good at the YouTubes, is what we are.
Yeah.
We're counting down another top 10 list determined by you, the viewers. You should be sure to like and subscribe to not only Penguin Magic's YouTube page, but also to our Facebook and our Instagram, because we run these polls all the time to find out what your favorite tricks are in particular genres. And this week, we're talking about the tricks that you should have when you go to school.
I didn't go to school.
Did you not?
I might have skipped a lot of school.
It's been a while since you and I have been in school.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like to be there either when I was there. So, yeah. I wasn't there a lot.
But when you did, you were doing magic.
I know, I didn't actually.
No,
I
because you got into magic a little later.
I didn't do any magic in high school. I kind of wish I did, but...
I didn't do any magic in high school. I did magic in college.
Yeah, for some reason my brain thinks like high school and middle school for this list. I don't know. Maybe I'm off there, but like...
No, I think high school and middle school was pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're getting into college a little bit too, because there's a few tricks on this list that I would have done when I was in college. I went to college at Humber College in Toronto, where I got a degree in comedy writing and performance, which is why my parents cry themselves to sleep.
It's true. I've seen them cry.
It's terrible.
But it does change, right? When you get to college, because you're able to go to the bar or whatever. So like the tools that you would use, like card tricks are more for college.
Yeah.
When you're in school, you don't really want to be walking around with like a deck of cards per se. Things are kind of a little bit more impromptu or off the cuff almost, seemingly.
At my school, we weren't allowed to have cards.
Right.
Because it was like, people could have like been gambling with them at lunchtime or recess when you were in middle school. But
so you can't do cardistry at school?
No, you can't do cardistry at school.
I bet that's different now.
Yeah,
I bet that's different now.
Well, so this is a great list full of some great stuff, and we should get into it. Let's start off.
Let's see because this is submitted by them. Did we even mention that?
I think we did at the very top.
All right, I just losing my mind.
Do we say like and subscribe?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, let's do the video then.
Let's do the video.
Yeah.
Let's start off with number 10. Number 10 is one of my favorite tricks on this list, and I think it should have been higher, but this is Flight 101 by Roddy McGee. This is an incredible trick. So what you do is you borrow a ring, you borrow someone's keys, the ring vanishes, and then the ring appears on the spectator's keys. Borrowed ring appears on borrowed spectator's keys. I wish this had been around when I was in school because I would have done it all the time. It's very cool. The gimmick is super durable. You get a really cool routine taught by Roddy McGee where you sort of talk about like dowsing and like if you hold the keys, they'll spin one way if it's gold, another way if it's silver. This is a very strong trick. I do this at all of my gigs, and I tend to have one, if not on me, but like in my bag, because this is one of my favorite sort of like non-card tricks to do.
Yeah, I mean, the trick's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Flight 101. I think it might be a stretch to be doing it at school because it really relies on the borrowed ring, borrowed keys, right? So you're going to have to find somebody that has a ring and has some keys.
I'm thinking high schoolers. Especially you get into your junior year.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but what's interesting about the school venue is that I think the tricks that might actually even play better, which sometimes we don't consider good because we like to borrow objects.
Yeah.
Stuff like Banded, right? Garrett Thomas, right? Because then you don't have to ask anybody for anything. You can just show them this cool thing, and they can examine the ring afterward. But ring tricks in general, great to do at school.
Totally agree. And the other one that I would actually say from Garrett Thomas is Opus, which is his coin and ring study. That's one that I really like.
Right. I mean, I don't know if they belong on the list. Who knows? But like, it is interesting to think about how the tricks are performed and where they could land on the list. Because like this, you have to check 2 boxes before you ever do the trick, right?
Yeah, I think though, like at least and this is going in the Wayback Machine, remembering when I was in middle school, the moment you hit junior year was when a lot of people had cars, and so everyone had keys.
And are they in their lockers, the keys? Like,
what I mean?
That's
a good question.
Like, do they have it on them? I'm not sure.
Did you use your locker? What did you do? I mean, I wouldn't have put my keys in my locker.
I mean, I don't know. I opened my locker once, and then at the beginning of the year, and once at the end of the year, right? Like, that's about it.
You didn't have, like, the inside decorated with all your favorite magicians? You didn't have, like, magazine cutouts of Copperfield on the inside?
It would have only been Copperfield in there. Man, I can barely remember any of that. Yeah, no. No.
Yeah. So be sure to comment below on the magicians that you cut out of magazines and put on the insides of your locker, or what you think was in Nick's locker when he was in high school.
Nothing.
Okay, I think that's fair. You do have to check 2 boxes with this. I think that this is probably, a middle schooler isn't going to do this, but I can see a high schooler doing it. Probably a little bit on the older side when everyone has keys.
Tricks.
Ring tricks in general, though, I think is a very smart call by you.
Yeah.
And Garrett Thomas has got some of the best.
Sure. Yeah. Bandit is. You can see him doing on Fool Us. Right? Yeah. So it's great. Moving on. We spent a lot of time on that.
We did. All right. Let's go on.
Number 9. Number 9 definitely should be on the list. Yep. Maybe even like 1. I mean, I guess this could be anywhere.
Yeah.
And that is the coin bite, made popular by David Blaine, originally in Bobo's Modern Coin Magic. Did you know that?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's in the Bobo, which is pretty fun.
I got to go back and look that up.
Yeah. So this is I'm like opening it up, assuming that I can do it. Well, maybe we'll leave it in there. I didn't know how it came assembled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so this is an incredible effect where you take out a quarter, you bite it in half, and you show the quarter that's bit in half, and then you spit it back together and hand the quarter out. You can borrow the quarter,
I remember being in high school and seeing David Blaine do that thinking it was cool. It was really cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
it still is cool.
Look, I wasn't really in the magic community, so I can understand, like, if this was to come out now, I'd be like, I don't know, am I going to go do that for somebody? But, like, back in the day, I didn't know any better. I saw David Blaine do it, therefore it was cool, so I went out and did it, and it kills. Like, people lose their mind over coin bite.
Should it be on this list? Absolutely.
Yes,
I mean, when I was in high school, everyone had change in their pocket because there was vending machines, because everyone was getting snacks in between, classes and schools and stuff like that. So it's like perfect thing. Like, you and your buddies are going to go get some M&Ms. I don't know what you and your buddies did, but me and my buddies, we went out.
We skipped school. That's what we did.
We got the peanut butter M&Ms.
Look this way, and then run. But
stay in school, kids. Don't stay in school, or else you'll turn out like Nick Lacabo.
I know, right? And again, I think this might be a little theme here. Is you're performing in one.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that's a better thing to do at school because if you get people involved, things can get broken up really quick. Like the bell rings, everybody's gonna go. I don't know. If this is fast, it's easy.
Yeah.
Do it really quick. I mean, it's visual. It's amazing.
Let's talk a little bit about the product because this one, this has really come along because it used to be that you just got a coin that could basically fold with rubber bands, but now we sell them with the Forever Band by Roy Cooper's. So it's always going to be ready to go because I remember always being nervous doing anything with a folding coin because I wasn't sure if the rubber band had dried out, disintegrated, but these are really nice.
So there's 2 things about it. One, traditionally, like, I don't know, when this was made popular, it was done with a folding coin, and it would actually fold in 2 spots.
Yes.
Not necessary for the coin bite, right? So you're just had a better chance to flash. But with this one, it's only going to be the top edge. The rest of the body of the coin is fine, so you can,
Yeah. And the bite looks really good too because the cut is actually made to look like a bite.
And you get the extra piece, which you could hide the extra piece in your mouth, right? So that I'm not gonna put it in my mouth here, but you could do the bite, right? And then you could show the piece in your mouth.
Yeah.
Then kind of tuck it back, spit it back together.
Yeah.
And then hand the coin out.
You can still do coin bite with a traditional folding coin, but this one being made for it, and the video, you teach some stuff, Rick Lax teach some stuff.
That's right, and Oz Perlman. It's a triple thread on that download.
Yeah. It's a great download with lots of cool stuff, lots of different really interesting restorations.
Yep.
It's pretty affordable. Definitely on this list. I agree with you. I'm surprised it's at number 9.
Yeah, it could be a lot higher on this list.
I think that probably what happened is a lot of people were were putting stuff in, but there's some sort of cooler tricks on here, but I think people overlook this because it's so old.
And I don't think this is the only coin trick we got, right?
Yeah.
I mean, coin tricks got to be good in general at school, right? Like Scotch and soda, I bet it kills at school. Right?
Yeah, especially if there's versions of Scotch and soda you can get that are smaller coins that aren't like a $50 and an English penny or a Mexican centavo.
Yeah, so any of that classic coin stuff would be great.
Yeah.
Gimmick coin stuff.
The other one is karate coin.
Right, karate coin.
yeah.
And
Like,
Kung Fu Cap would be good. Just
Yes.
this little thing. We're going off on a tangent here, but
Yeah.
yeah, those would be good.
I can think of like, I'm sure that if we sat here and riffed on it, there's a bunch of like borrowed change. Well, I know you're saying like in one, but I'm still sort of on the train of
Well,
like
you borrow the
stuff.
coin,
Yeah.
but it's got to be like
You got to be able to do stuff quick.
and you need it to be examinable.
Yeah.
Right, because like you want that. You know, you can't let the school know that you're doing tricks.
Yeah.
Right. You can't get caught by anybody. That would really, you know.
I don't know.
stick.
I mean, like, I think it's okay, and because it depends on when you're doing it, right? Like, if you're doing it at lunch, like it's fine. You can be a little bit longer.
No. I just mean like, man, you do scotch and soda on somebody, like let them burn it, let them examine it, because there's nothing for them to find. You want like those cool gimmicks that are just like bulletproof, right?
Yeah. Speaking of cool gimmicks that are bulletproof, number 8 on this list is by our buddy Jeff Price. This is Keylicious.
Fun trick.
This is a cool trick. So this is not, you're not going to be doing this like in between classes. You're going to do this when you have a free period or if you're at lunch or something like that. But what this is you take out a key and it's got like a split ring on it, like like you have for your keychain. You take that off and you hand it to somebody to examine. You have them examine the key, and then you put the key and the ring in your hand. You take the key out, the key and the key ring switch places, and they switch places over and over again. And they know that that your hand is definitely got one thing in it, and then it's got the other. It comes with some really and at the end of it, the split ring ends up back on the key, which they know is impossible to take off because they're the ones who took it off to begin with.
Yeah.
You get a really, really clever set of gimmicks from Jeff on this. I'm sure that we're looking at video right now of Jeff performing it for Dan Harlan, which you can see a full routine on Penguin Magic. If you go there and go to the Keylicious product page, I know that down below in the description there's links to everything that we're talking about. There's going to be a link down there to a video. This is really neat. And another one that I'm like, I'm going to say this a lot. I'm surprised this isn't higher on the list, but when you consider all of the stuff on this list, like you guys pick some powerhouses. I mean, this is like... it should be higher, but there's some other stuff where it's like everything is sort of like at the same power level.
Sure, right.
This one does take a little bit more practice because there's more sort of going on here.
Yeah.
But
great trick.
Very
great
good
trick. Clever trick. And I don't know if a lot of people are that familiar with it either.
No.
This is a very, very fun routine. Transpositions, keys. I mean, you're not going to borrow the keys. It's going to be on your own, which is nice, right? Yeah. That way you don't have to worry about people having the keys on them. But then just comes right down to it. Key tricks.
Yeah.
You got your own house keys, fine. Like there was a Ignition by Magic Smith, which is a key through bill, would be great because you can carry it around on you. Did I write down another key trick? I think that might have been the only one that really dawned on me there. But in general, key magic would be a good thing for school.
Yeah, I can see that. It gets me thinking of like what are the different things that you could do with like locks that are on a locker or something like that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean because there's like now that I think about it, like there's a lock and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but there's a lock where like your audience can like guess the combination.
Yeah,
and it still functions as like a real lock. So if people don't know it, you could definitely like have.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they really have like a name. Like you can find them on Penguin if you just search for like a lock. There's one that has like a wedding routine with it where people punch in the year that they were born and you put the wedding rings on it. And
that's the one I'm thinking of, and I'll be sure to put a graphic on here.
Yeah, we'll put the link down there.
Yeah.
It's a really cool gimmick. I don't know if it would. I mean, if you could put it on your locker, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
because it does look out of place. But
it does function as a lock. I mean,
does everybody have the same lock at school?
No, I think it depends on the school. At least when I was in school, the locker. Everyone had different locks. I had a key lock because I could never remember a combination.
Right.
And I was like, I always struggled with the dial combination. Is it like I use a dial combination at the gym right now? And every time I go to undo it, I stand there for 10 minutes. A, trying to remember my combination. B, because I'm always like, is it on that? Is it on the line? I don't know. But I used a key lock when I was in high school.
Yeah, all right.
So I can see keys and locks. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Well, moving on to number 7. This is a trick by Gregory Wilson called Unleashed, and I have it right here.
I'd kind of forgotten about this.
Yeah, this is a fun little piece of magic where you're going to wear like a dog tag necklace, and you take it out, you take it off, and you take the dog tag piece off, and you show it around because it has one of these anagram things on there.
Ambigram.
Ambigram.
Yeah, I think
anagram.
is what it is.
Ambigram. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't go to school. Anyway, it says illusion, but if you flip it over, it says illusion the other way as well. So it's kind of like a fun little thing to show to people. And then what you do is you take it and you say, here, we're going to do a trick with it. You put the necklace back on, but you take the dog tag piece off. You place it here on your shirt, and then you cover it with this piece of your shirt. And then you have the spectator put their finger on it, and the dog tag disappears, and then it ends up back on your necklace.
It's got all of the cleverness from Gregory Wilson.
Yep.
It's a really well thought out routine. The gimmick is really beautiful. I mean, I say gimmick, but it's a clever routine with a really nice piece of jewelry, and that actually gets me thinking. There's a lot of great jewelry magic out there. That people can do. I know. Actually, speaking of Jeff Price, there's a gentleman who runs our cameras around here, Nick Popa. Nick is always wearing a piece of jewelry from. Can I take that here from you?
Can we get this on Penguin? Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Get it from Jeff if you can.
But this is a great. What's this trick called? The Penrose pendant. But the Penrose pendant is so. This is from Jeff Price. This is a Penrose pendant. But jewelry magic is great. And you know what another thing I'm thinking of. Thanks very much. Another thing that I'm thinking of jewelry magic that is great is on Carissa Hendricks' live act. Or is it on her live act?
Are you thinking about the
appearing earring that she does?
Isn't that part of the Tommy Wonder project?
It is a part of the Tommy. It's in Modern Wonder. Carissa Hendricks and Kayla Drescher on the Modern Wonder project. They sort of reteach a lot of classic material from Tommy Wonder, but one of the things they did was they adapted his ring, watch, wallet routine to be a necklace, ring, earring routine, and they have a really wonderful appearing earring. So if you wear dangly earrings, it's a really, really cool gimmick. It's one of the original pieces that they created for that project.
Yeah. Well, this is a nice icebreaker. It's an easy thing to do.
Looks cool.
Quick, looks cool. But yeah, jewelry magic is definitely a thing at school.
Yeah, and that sort of gets back to that performing in one that you were talking about, not having to borrow stuff.
Yeah, because imagine school finds out you do magic tricks. You're just gonna get hit up all the time, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't go through this, but you would just be people would be like, hey, do a trick. You could just do that, right? Because you're just carrying it around your neck, right? Mm-hmm. So because that's the type of stuff that you probably need to have, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's move on to number 6. This is Redline by
Dan Haas.
Is it Dan Haas?
Oh yeah.
This is Redline.
The king. The clear king of chapstick magic, yes.
So you can find this on his Chapslick release.
Maybe the inventor of the genre, maybe?
Is he?
I don't know.
It's really cool.
I'll credit Dan Haas with chapstick magic. Why not?
Dan Haas, the godfather of chapstick magic. This is really cool. Essentially what you do is you put on some chapstick and then you realize that you need to put the cap on and you give it a shake and then the cap is on. Or you could even make the cap vanish from one hand and then reappear on it. This is a really, really cool piece of magic. It's very fooling. You don't need a bunch of special gimmicks for it either. Even though it's on the Chapslick project and the Chapslick project comes with some really cool gimmicks.
Yeah.
You can totally do this with ordinary chapstick. There's a little bit of preparation involved, but
it's just
it's great.
Chapstick magic in general. So you get that project. You'll learn all sorts of chapstick tricks. The Redline, which is the one that the trick that you guys put on the list, is probably, arguably one of the best chapstick tricks ever. It might be the double lift of chapstick tricks.
It's just really cool.
Yeah. It's a great trick, and the way that it works is super, super easy. So again, you're not the gimmick's going to be bulletproof. It's an amazing trick. Yeah.
You know what though is that it has that same feel to it as Recapped by Gregory Wilson, in the sense that you're taking the cap off of something and it's reappearing on it, which I'm actually a little surprised that Recapped isn't on here.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
There's more to come on that a little bit later.
Chapstick tricks are very cool. Redline is an excellent suggestion by y'all, and I think it's actually properly placed. I think that it is definitely better than some of the stuff that we've talked about because it's really offbeat, it's really unusual, it's really organic trick. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's not as powerful as some other stuff.
Sure. Yeah, be something quick.
Yep.
All right, we have another. It's always funny to see whose tricks who has the most tricks.
Yeah.
And does Jeff Price win?
I think Jeff Price wins this one.
He might.
But didn't he invent most of these when he was in school still?
well,
I know this one he definitely did.
He definitely did right here. Oh man, you want to see some old school. I mean, this is when Jeff Price put this out, it was like a bomb on the Magic community. Everybody's like, who is this kid? And where did he come up with this stuff? Because
I mean, look at the quote on this from Paul Harris is who is this kid? He's going to be dangerous.
Solid practical coolness. This kid is going to be dangerous. Paul Harris. Jeff was kind of like Dan Haas is to chapstick magic. Jeff Price is to gum magic. He kind of started this whole craze of now there's like 1,000 and a million gum tricks, but at the time there wasn't a lot of this type of stuff. One of the tricks that is on here that it was like, what is it, like orbit gum? I mean, I don't know. The gum comes in the package now where it's in the box. Well, he had one of the first hey, I'm out of gum, and then you shake it and then it's full of gum, right?
It's cool.
I had no idea how it worked when I first saw it.
It fooled some really smart people.
So this project has 4 gum tricks on there. Orbit, that's a pack of gum with only one piece left, turns into a full pack. Rewrapped, a chewed piece of gum is stretched between the magician's hands and magically wraps itself again. Insta-wrap, chewed gum to wrapped gum. Back in time, magician presents a time travel experiment with gum. And a chewed piece of gum alters a photograph, which is interesting. I haven't seen that one. Anyway, gum tricks. Something to do at school. 1,000%. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an organic, literally an organic object that people are going to be doing stuff. People are going to be familiar with it. You can do stuff more off the cuff. I mean, I feel like if I was doing magic in school, I would want to be like, hey, check this out. And then suddenly, miracles are happening.
Can you still chew gum in school? Do you get in trouble for that?
I don't know.
I don't know. So it's kind of in my old school, it would have been dangerous to have gum.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I don't know. Well, comment below if you're allowed to chew gum in your school. Popa's behind the camera shaking his head. I chewed gum in school.
We couldn't chew gum in school.
You know what, though? One of the first magic tricks that I ever bought from Penguin back when I was just a customer 20 years ago, sticky situation.
Great gum trick.
Really, really good gum trick. You take gum out of your mouth, it's all chewed up, and then you turn it into a stick, and then you give it a shake, and it rewraps itself.
Best part is, you don't need real gum to do it.
No.
So you can't get in trouble if you chew gum.
There's been a bunch of really, really nice gum tricks, though.
Yeah, there's a ton of great gum tricks.
Yep.
That's it. But this is a great project to start with. It's good.
Moving on to number 4. This is one of my favorite things on the list, and because I've kind of forgotten about it for a while, but I'm glad that it's on here because I want to play with it again. This is Luber's Lens. Paul Harris presents this. It's by Luber Fielder. This is really cool. So essentially what this is a little piece of plastic. We can actually take it out and show you. It's really neat. And I'm going to put some footage here so you can see a bunch of stuff. This is a little lens that can make stuff appear, disappear, transform, change, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff. It was originally marketed by Paul Harris as the Reality Twister.
That's right.
Which was how I first bought it, and there's a really great book. I hope that it's still available from Penguin, because I know I've got a copy called the Reality Twister booklet with it was
all sorts of ideas.
100 different. I mean, remember back in the day when there were little books that had 101 tricks with a Svengali deck. It was like that. But it was a bunch of cool stuff. One of my favorite things to do with this is you would have a pen, and this is definitely one that I did in school. You'd have a pen, and you would bring the Reality Twister, the Luber's Lens, over it, and you would turn it, and then the middle of the pen would disappear. And then you would turn it back, and the pen would appear. And then you would turn it, and then you would stop about 45-degree angle, and the pen would look like it had like a twist in it, and then you would remove the lens, and the pen would be twisted.
Yeah, the real pen actually twisted.
Yeah, and then you could even give that away. I mean, I remember doing. I might even keep this and start doing that again because it's a great giveaway.
Yeah.
There's Marcus Eddy is if you buy this in the download, or at least in your where your downloads are, Marcus Eddy teaches a really cool version of this where you wrap a rubber band around your phone, and then the rubber band vanishes. And then comes back, and then you I think the way he does it actually is he removes the rubber band, and then the rubber band reappears wrapped around your cell phone.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, this lets you do a lot of just really fun stuff. And it's kind of like a science experiment a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great that it's on this list.
Yeah. If man, like I really want to talk more about this because it's if you know about lenticular printing, then it's just because I love to say lenticular printing.
What? What?
But there's a lot of really neat stuff you can do with this. Fits in your wallet.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and again, like in science class or something like that.
It's a
like,
cool, yeah. I mean, imagine like busting that, like with that false premise of like introducing it to your science teacher and then like hitting them up with a magic trick at the same time.
Yeah.
Super good.
This arguably to me is one of the stronger things on the list, but only because I'm just so in love with this.
Yeah, it's not,
really
I mean,
cool.
you can make it you can make a magic trick out of it, but it's also just like
it's fun.
A fun thing to show.
Really
people.
fun.
We're almost near the top of the list here. This is kind of where we talk about things that might needed to be on the list, or
you know what I'm surprised did not make the list is Misled.
Sure. I thought that crossed my mind too. Yeah. Misled is a pencil through bill effect. We have some things through bills coming up here, and I could see that Misled might be tough just because of the angles at school. Yeah, because it is you're good this way, everybody in front of you. But I'm just thinking if you're in the hallway or whatever, you'd have to back yourself into a corner.
There's some really cool pencil through bills. I know Jay Sankey has one on.
There's a lot of great like impromptu ones. That are really good.
With the one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head is the one, and I can't remember which release it's on, but it uses a Post-it note, which is really cool. Also, our good buddy. We were just talking about it before this, but the Hancock effect would be great. Would be a great one for school.
Yeah, right. Yeah, borrowed bill.
Yeah.
And
on the Hancock effect, Kyle Purnell is his name. Kyle Purnell did the Hancock effect, but on the Hancock effect, there is an impromptu pencil through bill that is really, really cool.
I don't think I saw that.
It's really neat. You like fold the bill up, and then you force the pencil through 2 layers of a dollar bill, and then you can show that it's going through on both sides, which is really neat. It's got some fun displays. You can take the pencil out, and then you can show that the bill is healed up all the way. It's really, really cool.
Misled, I think, is the best thing through bill.
Yep.
Simply, it just looks the best. So check that out. It's on Penguin. You can get it. But
the only pencil through bill that looks better than that is, and one I could totally see doing in school, is the pencil through bill that is in the Aritology of Vanny Bossy, because it's real. You actually put a pencil through bill. We could actually
do top 10 things through bill, right?
We really could do.
I guess you could, yeah.
If you don't own the Vanny Bossy, it's called the Aritology of Vanny Bossy. If you don't own that book, get it, because there's some really great magic in there. But there is a pencil through bill where you actually put the pencil through the bill, and then you heal the bill, and the hole is gone.
Yeah.
It requires a special something. They tell you exactly where to get it in the book. But I could see, because that special something would really live in any student's book bag, especially someone who is more of an artsy student.
Like, do you even, I think about the money tricks. Like, look, when we do thing through bill or like any of that stuff, a lot of people just understand that like, oh, okay, the magician borrowed my 100, now he turned it into a 1. People get worried that they're not going to get it back, or they get a little worried that you damage the bill.
You could do it with your
note. But ultimately, they know it's going to, you're going to redeem it. Now, at school, I don't remember if this, it might not be the case now, but man, that dollar that I had in my pocket was very important. Very important.
Yeah. Well, because you had to.
If you ripped it, it would be the stakes are higher.
Well, you had to hang on to every dollar you could, because you had to get it into the lunchroom. Yeah. And you had to like budget in your head how much of your lunch money you were going to save so that you could buy cards for Magic the Gathering cards later.
Is there even cash transaction anymore?
I don't know. Comment below if your school lunchroom is cashless.
There's no way, right? They're not dealing with cash. It's all.
You got to have cash though for the vending machines, unless the vending machines are cashless.
I don't know.
I don't know
anymore.
Pope is behind the cameras just shaking his head at us.
Yeah. There's another trick I could see being good, because it's with keys and coins. That's the mark. Old Elmwood trick. Oh, yeah. It's a you have a $50. Well, you show it in your you have a key on your keychain. You would have like a little pendant that holds a $50. You can say it's like your lucky $50 or whatever. You get them to you get somebody to sign it. You take it out and you get somebody to sign it, and then you can make it disappear, and then it reappears on your keychain. But it's got the initials on it of the spectator, so it's like a coin to impossible location that you can carry around with you. I'm not sure how well known it is, but it's a fantastic effect. It's actually taught by Magic Belay.
Oh,
You
man.
can pick it up on
it's
Penguin
good.
Magic. Yeah. I mean, his routine for it is amazing. Also, pen through pencil, Michael Shatlin release, where you just have a pen and shake it and it turns into a pencil, or vice versa. It's not like a bulletproof gimmick, but it looks really cool. Could be a fun thing to show people.
I think any of the Gregory Wilson like on the spot. Like basically most of the stuff that we talked about in the impromptu magic stuff.
Yeah, right.
The impromptu magic video. If you check out, we've done a number of these top 10. So if this is the first one that you're looking at, there's a whole bunch of these, and a lot of the impromptu stuff from Gregory Wilson in the On the Spot series is really good for this. Like that's actually where you can learn recaps.
Yeah. Well, speaking of recapped, and we'll move on to number 3, and Thing Through Bill and all that. Number 3 is the Perfect Pen by John Cornelius.
Very cool.
This is the granddaddy of all the Things Through Bill.
The Thing Through Thing.
Thing Through Thing that we've gone through. So anyway, this is
gorgeous pen.
Yeah, this is a pen that I guess we don't have a bill here, but you know, if you're familiar with the Pen Through Anything plot, the interesting thing about Perfect Pen is that it's examinable at the start. You know, normally, you can like give this out and have somebody look at it, because normally there's going to be like an extra piece, you know, hanging around. Now the piece that we're talking about is here, but it's just the way that this is constructed is totally different. This is the original construction of the Pen Through Bill. Now I would say this is probably not the pen you're using at school.
No.
Right? This is a little bit more executive. This is more business style. But thankfully,
there's a lot of different versions of this out there.
Yeah, thankfully. There are great versions of this. So if you want to do Pen Through Bill at school, I would recommend this. This is fantastic. But Gregory Wilson's Pointless.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Right, is probably a better option, and also comes with the recapped routine, right?
Yeah, which is the recapped routine. The pen cap disappears and then reappears on the side of the pen. It vanishes and reappears in your ear. The pen disappears and reappears places, and it uses Bic pen, which is really nice.
Yeah, so the gimmick is really nice. You know, like one thing that people love is that it's got a rounded bottom to it. Just kind of like a weird small touch. If you know, you know. Yeah, so you can go Pen Through Bill with this. And you're also going to get a bunch of tricks on the DVD that it comes with as well. So this is what I would recommend if you want to do Pen Through Bill at school. I mean, I just think it's a clear upgrade to the Perfect Pen. Nothing wrong with Perfect Pen, but venue is important.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think that's something really good to note, because I remember when I was first getting into Magic, the B2 Bomber was the Pen Through Bill of choice, but that was like. It was like a black, sort of bulkier plastic pen, but that was very common at the time. I think it looked like a Papermate pen. It wasn't super executive looking, but it looked different than a Bic pen, but it was something that came across. But that one, there was a lot of the pen that went through the bill, which was really interesting.
Yeah. Now there's the Stealth Pen on Penguin, you can get that as well. That's going to be a black, looks like a Bic pen, but it's just a black ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
And of course they all write, Perfect Pen writes. Pointless writes, that's all. Oh, there goes my microphone. But they all write as well. So,
yep, that moves us on to number 2, which is still in the stuff through stuff category. This is Smooth by Nicholas Lawrence. This is a really, really cool thing. We joke around here a lot that this is one of the better tricks that Nick Popa, our wonderful cameraman, does. But essentially, what you do is you take a chapstick and then you take a bill and you visually push the chapstick through the bill. You can show it on both sides, and then you rip it off the side of the or rip it through the side of the bill. And the chapstick is fine. The bill is fine.
You don't rip it. That's the best part. It visually melts back up through the bill.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
There's there's different versions of it. But
I mean,
but the one where you melt it through back through
you
is
see,
so
like
pretty.
that's the buttery smooth part right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a really well made gimmick. It looks a lot like any sort of chapstick that you would get.
And I'd never thought about the Magic at School category before, but there's some clear themes, and this is combining two of the most prominent themes of Magic at School: thing through bill and chapstick magic. Right.
Yeah.
So.
We it's been a while since we've been in school, but we're starting to understand your mindset.
Yes. I mean, I wish I did Magic. I just didn't. Yeah. I couldn't buy Magic when I was in school. Like I couldn't get all this stuff. There was no YouTube to learn from or anything. I wish I was able to do Magic in school. I would be doing all these tricks.
But Smooth is really cool. It's available at Penguin Magic. It's a really neat trick. It's taught by Nicholas Lawrence.
And the gimmick's awesome. It's like a James Bond device.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Yeah,
it's really great.
It's definitely there's a lot of people who sort of abandoned the idea of pen through bill and then went to this, and they all they do is this.
Yeah, because it's just a little bit more like it has a more organic feel to it, even though it's like still kind of like weird object going through bill, but it is a little bit more like impromptu and a little bit more organic than the others.
Well, Nick, that brings us to number one.
Number one is it's the Raven. Oh, it's not? It's not the Raven?
It's not
the Raven's not on this list?
The Raven's not
Why not?
That's a really good point.
Why not? Why aren't you guys carrying Ravens in your sweatshirts, man? Come on now. What is wrong with all you?
You can do the Raven in a wide variety of different setups with whether you've got a hoodie. You don't have to have like a nice suit jacket. You could do it in a hoodie. You can do it there's even ways to do it in a t-shirt.
Man, because Raven's number one.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Number one, I mean, and this is a great number one.
Yeah.
I mean, and number one is, and I should have had this like ready to do a nice reveal. Number one is, as I dig through my pile of Magic, loops.
Comment below if you think we need a bigger table
to
keep all this stuff on.
We do need a bigger table. We got criticized for our table once, right? And that's why it's not here anymore.
We had too big a table.
Too big a table.
Now we've got too small a table.
We got too small a table. Loops by Yigal Masika. I mean,
I understand why this
miracles.
is number one.
Yeah. Miracles, you can carry it around. It's invisible. It's on you at all times.
Yeah.
And the routines that you can do with this, levitations, PK touch stuff.
Yeah.
Just awesome magic.
It's a utility device.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of stuff you can do. When you get loops, there's a cool download that you can see a whole bunch of different routines. As a matter of fact, there's even, if you look back a couple of issues, there is an entire issue of Penguin Magic magazine dedicated to
July?
loops. It was July of 2021. You can see all kinds of stuff. So that may be a little tough to get for some people, but I know that...
comes with a pack of loops, and it has a bunch of tricks in it. So if you want to buy some, you go just pick up that magazine.
Yeah.
Not much to be said about it. The download is great.
Yeah.
It all teaches you like a floating ring, I believe, and the eyeglasses thing is pretty cool. Is any glasses tricks?
Glasses tricks is kind of it's a not often explored area.
Yeah.
I've got a little work on it. I know Nicholas Lawrence was helping me with
I had a
stuff.
pair of shades. I mean, this isn't a good trick, shouldn't be on the list, but like Superman glasses where you could fog up the lens and it would do a card reveal.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's on Penguin or not, but I had a pair of those at one point. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
loops. Loops are what you want to grab because they hang out invisibly on your body.
Yeah.
Like they're just on you.
It's invisible elastic thread that you can use, and I know a lot of people get like concerned, like, oh, I don't want to break it or something like that. They're cheap. Just like wear it until it breaks. And
sure. Yeah, and there's only one way you're going to get comfortable with that problem anyway, and that's to wear it. I mean, sometimes you put them on, and I've had the moments where I think I lost it or it broke, and then you find it 2 days later on your arm.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, so I interviewed Yigal for the Penguin Magic Podcast, which if you're not listening to the Penguin Magic Podcast, you should be. Just get on your favorite podcasting app, type in Penguin Magic Podcast, we come right up. I interviewed Yigal Masika on there, and he wears a loop every day.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to if you're doing magic all the time. So, and it would work great with your ring that you're doing banded with because you could float that, and there's just so many great possibilities with loops.
Yeah, this is a really solid list. I think that everything is kind of like where it should be. I mean, there's some stuff that sort of
it's hard to move
us
anything around.
Yeah, because it's like, is Coinbite really number 9? Should Coinbite be number 3 or number 4? But like honestly, like perfect pen and smooth
Yeah,
are
I feel like the order doesn't
cool.
matter with this one. It's just kind of about finding the right the right categories of tricks with this list.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that is it for us on this list. Thank you all for participating in the poll that we put out that where you all determine this order, because you're the ones who determine these top 10 lists right now. We put the call out and you guys put it out there. Again, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can get updates as to when we do more of these. Also, be sure to check out the Magic Matchup DVDs and some of the unboxings that Nick and I do. Also, comment down below. Let us know if there's anything that we missed on this list, or if you think it's in a particular order. Maybe you think that something should have ranked higher. I mean, we're pretty comfortable with this.
Yeah. I don't know how you move this around. I really don't. It's whatever your preferences are.
And a lot of the stuff that we talked about today is available on penguinmagic.com. So if you have more questions about it, you can surf over there to find out stuff. There's also like a really cool, I don't know if people know about this, there's a cool sort of like forum question and answer section for most of the different products where you can connect with other Penguin customers and find out how they're working on their stuff.
Sure, yep.
Yeah.
I got nothing left.
I got nothing either. Thanks very much for watching. On behalf of Nick and everyone else here at the Penguin Magic Studios, see you next time.